Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about a pretty new release that's come out on Blu ray. It's another in the Universal Horror, Universal Monsters kind of series, and it's called Universal Horror Collection Volume 1. There's going to be more volumes coming in the series. And the reason a lot of fans like me were so excited to get this was because we wanted to get a collection of the Karloff and Lugosi films together. We had an old release DVD just called, I think, the Bela Lugosi collection, really, which had some of the stuff on it. But to have this on Blu-ray was a really, really welcome announcement. And I've seen a lot of people, a lot of fans like myself, talking about this, and I think I'm the only one that has a problem with it. Now we've had past releases before that were all top notch. We had the Dracula series with all the Dracula films, Frankenstein series with all the Frankenstein movies, the Invisible Man with the Invisible Man films, Invisible Woman, and also the Mummy series, which this guy here, right? And they were all top notch. Very few complaints about it. I could nitpick a couple of things here and there, but all around, not an issue. One of the films in there, The Mummy's Tomb, is said to be missing a couple of frames or something, but not a big thing. But anyway, this one though, the reason we were most excited to get this was, comes with a booklet by the way. We were most excited to get this because of all the films here with Karloff and Lugosi that we're treated to. Perhaps the most celebrated one and often considered the best is the first film they did together, The Black Cat. And The Black Cat was really, really needed in better quality, especially on a Blu-ray. Very happy to say that The Black Cat on this set is in really nice shape, and it's the best we've ever been able to get the movie. So I've never seen it look better, and I'm very grateful for that. That's already the main thing. Now, the next film that they made, Karloff and Lugosi, was called The Raven. And The Raven was 1935. And I would say that the copy here of The Raven is also improved from what I've seen. But it's a nasty thing that I've noticed with the films that are on here, at least the last three that I'm going to talk about here. Uh, that being The Raven, The Invisible Ray, and also Black Friday. They have a habit sometimes when they put movies out on disc of when they remaster it, they zoom in a little bit more instead of like pulling out of it. They kind of like zoom in a bit like that, and instead of like this. So as a result, I was really, really disappointed that when I checked the old DVD releases, you got a little more information. Instead of it being like too close, you got more around the frames, and I kind of was disappointed to see that. I noticed that in Black Friday. I noticed that. But moreover, I also thought that considering these were Blu-rays, the quality on some of the later films in here, especially the last two, The Invisible Ray and Black Friday, I noticed there were a lot of specklings and I don't know, dirt particles and things. And just overall, sometimes when you have a Blu-ray and you just boost the quality, sometimes you see these imperfections a little more acutely. But that's not what we're dealing with here because there are other films that don't do that at all. Other films of the same vintage, 30s and 40s, you don't have to deal with that. So I can't just say, well, because some people would say, oh, well, they're old, and since they're old, well, that's just how it is with old movies. No, no, no. Has to do with the mastering. Has to do with original negatives, whatever they go to. And I just thought that for me, this is the first time I've been disappointed with one of these Universal Monsters horror Blu-ray sets. The Black Cat, very welcome. No, no problems with the Black Cat. The Raven, I suppose it's better, but as I say, I was a little bothered by the framing issue a little bit as compared to the old. And the Invisible Rain and Black Friday, I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I was so upset about it that I actually took the old disc. This is the old disc from the DVD set, and I actually wrote on here that Invisible Ray and Black Friday seem better on the older discs. In fact, what I wrote here was Invisible Ray and Black Friday seem better on DVD. Blu-ray looks darker. I also say darker and more spotty and tighter cropping. I'm not looking for it to look darker. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I'm glad I read this. I'm not looking for Blu-ray to look darker, more spotty, and I don't like when they, you know, tighten up the frame too much like that. You know. Anyway, sorry to have to be the bearer of that kind of news. I honestly think that most people are not even going to notice. Most people are not going to be bothered. Most people are going to have a really good time. But I just wanted to be honest, express my feelings about it. Happy viewing.